Young fool, only now, at the end, do you understand? If you will not be turned, you will be destroyed. Hey, what's going on, guys? Archer Mark here, back with another Star Wars action figure review for you. This time I got a figure from, it's a little older of a figure, but a really great figure nonetheless. This is from the Legacy collection. This is the Emperor Palpatine. I just been thinking that, there have been a lot of Palpatine figures over the years, especially like Senator Palpatine, stuff like that, from the prequel trilogy. But I don't know if we've ever gotten a really definitive version of the Emperor. But from what I can see, this may be as close as we've gotten to. If it's not this, I'm not sure which one it is. There have been various ones that, well, it did this right, but doesn't have this right. The face looks good, but the articulation isn't good, or what have you. But anyway, this is a pretty darn good figure, and I really felt that this was worth reviewing. So I got this, picked this recently from Amazon.com. So we're going to take a look at that. We'll show you the packaging. And they got a really nice image from the film. And you have your warning, choking hazard. There, yeah, see the name Emperor Palpatine. He included a Build-A-Droid factory part. Here we go up. This is the Legacy Collection packaging. And I kind of butchered the packaging when I opened this. I wasn't sure if I was going to review it or not, but I did. I will turn it around, and we have here, again, Star Wars, the Legacy Collection, Emperor Palpatine. Here's a little description here. The Emperor contacts Darth Vader during the Sith Lord's pursuit of the Millennium Falcon. Palpatine warns Vader of a disturbance in the Force caused by the son of Anakin Skywalker. The Emperor commands Vader to turn the young Jedi to the dark side. Very cool. I'll give you a little slow pan so you can pause the video if you want to read that a little better. And we go down, we see some of the other figures that have been released. Ugnaughts, some Hoth Rebel Troopers. There's the Princess Leia, Captain Nita, the Emperor figure, which of course I'm reviewing right now, and Luke Skywalker. Okay. Very cool. We have your usual Star Wars, Hasbro.com logos, all that stuff. Again, showing the droid factory. Okay. That's enough of the packaging. And we'll get on to the figure. And just a really, like I said, a really nicely done figure. The head sculpt and the sculpting of the hands are just really nice. Zoom out. Not overly detailed. I mean, he's basically all in black. So there's just, black outfit and black robes, and there's really not much you could do there. But there you could see just a close-up of that face. It's just a really, really nice face sculpt. And the hands, you got these like evil, like bony-looking hands. It's really nice. And you got an all cloth robe here, which flows really well. It's not overly sized. It doesn't hinder the articulation. The figure stands real well, which is good. The one thing that I'll show you in a moment, the hood portion is like a soft plastic that is removable. It is not cloth. It is like a separate piece from the robe. And I'll show you that in a moment. You can get a better look at the head sculpt there. Okay. Comes with two accessories, one being his cane. You can see there. In fact, we're going to... Here, I'll take it out of his hand, and it will show you a little better there. Okay. He also comes with a lightsaber, red Sith lightsaber. Nothing we haven't seen before with Palpatine figures, of course. This is supposed to be a representative of the Emperor as we see him in Empire Strikes Back, which we never see him use a lightsaber in the original trilogy. But they threw this in as well, so what the heck? I won't complain about an extra lightsaber. One thing it looks like, unfortunately with mine, is the paint rubbed off on the hand, and you can see the red underneath the lightsaber hilt. But I do have other Palpatines that came with lightsabers, so I could always substitute another saber. But this guy won't be displayed with the saber. So it's not a big deal. I'll go over the articulation really quick. It's pretty much like vintage collection articulation. You got a bulge on your neck, ball-hinged shoulders, ball-hinged elbows, swivel wrists, swivel waist, swivel hips, ball-hinged knees, and ball-hinged ankles. So very good articulation. And I'm going to set the camera down here for a moment. I'm going to take the hood off. And then you can get a even better look at this head sculpt. It's really nice. Somewhat reminiscent of the vintage collection Darth Sidious head sculpt. Obviously even more scarred and worn. They may have used this same sculpt and just repainted the head and the hands. I'm not sure about that. But that's judging by what I've seen of that figure and looking at this figure. But basically you could see the hair is nicely sculpted. I mean, we don't see his hair in the original trilogy because it's always covered by the hood. But you can see it's just really just deformed and just all the wrinkles and whatnot on his face, the burns on his face, which now we know comes from, at least in part, comes from the deflecting of the Force lightning off Mace Windu's lightsaber. We see that in Episode 3. This guy's also very old, so some wrinkling is going to take place. It makes me think, you think back to the performance of Ian McDiarmid in this movie. It's one of the things that really stands out in Return of the Jedi. I was fortunate last year at Comic-Con to meet him, and I told him how much that performance just amazes me every time I see it. And it really is an incredible performance. If you look back on that movie, very much he did the same thing in Episode 3. The way he switches back and forth, to where he's angry and he's up here, and he's like, seething with anger, but then he gets quiet and calm, and it's just that fabulous performance that he gives. So that's about it. There's not much to talk about this figure. Again, when the character's all black, there's not an overly amount of detail, but great articulation, great head sculpt, some great accessories. The lightsaber does fit very well in his hand. It'll fit in either hand. Also, that's one thing to point out. It does fit better in this hand. So I'll give you a look at the figure with the lightsaber. Okay, looks equally as cool. But that's the figure in a nutshell. It's definitely a great figure. Very much maybe the definitive original trilogy Palpatine figure. Not sure of that debate can go on. But if you can find this figure at a decent price, I would definitely say pick him up. He's definitely worth it. So hopefully you've enjoyed this review of mine. As usual, comment, rate, subscribe. And until my next video, may the Force be with you.